Okay, go.
All right, the belief quiz. I have given you all the belief quiz today, and I wanted to come back and give you the results of this. And this is kind of the famous or the infamous bedroom and wallet quiz, and this is basically what it's measuring. When we talk about wallet, what we're talking about are economic issues. And really the idea is that there's a sense that I have that if I know how much you believe government should regulate economic or wallet issues, or allow individual freedom in terms of economic or wallet issues, we can begin to predict, when you think about it, what your political ideology is going to be, what your belief system is. Now, the other piece to this is going to be the bedroom. And the bedroom is really going to be dealing with moral issues. And it's the exact same token. If we can pinpoint how much you believe that the government should regulate moral issues, or for that matter, stay out of moral issues, we can, with a reasonable amount of certainty, begin to predict what your ideology is. Now, what I've got up here is I've plotted the points, and I'm going to kind of run through these, not necessarily everybody's name, but certainly the categories on this. And as you look at this, you'll notice the bedroom line is here in the center, and it is running up and down. You're going to notice the wallet line running horizontally from left to right on here. And then you're going to see a positive, a negative, and also a negative over here. Basically what this is just a regular geometric plane. And the positives are going to suggest that indeed you believe that the government should regulate in these areas. The negatives are going to basically mean that you believe that the government should stay out of these particular areas. So when you look at this, if you score above the wallet line, then generally speaking, you're going to believe in a greater or lesser degree that the government should regulate moral issues. If you scored below the wallet line, what you're going to see on here is that many of you in the classroom believe that the government should stay out of moral issues. If you scored to the right, if you will, of the bedroom line, you're going to believe that the government should regulate wallet a little bit more. And then if you notice this smaller collection of you over here, if you scored to the left of the bedroom line, you're going to believe that the government should stay out of the wallet. Now, let's take this category by category, and let's go ahead and address these. And let's start down here in this bottom right-hand corner. You notice in the bottom down here, you folks are going to believe that the government should stay out of wallet issues. You folks are going to believe that the government should stay out of bedroom issues. You folks down here are going to believe that the government should stay out of both. We've got Vlad over here, we've got Makiko out over here, and we've got Alex over here as well. You folks, and let me write this in, you folks are going to be what are known as my libertarians. Libertarians typically believe that the government that governs less is the government that governs best, I should say, is the government that governs least. So the idea is that Vlad, Makiko, and Alex, all three of you believe that the government should stay out of your way. You believe that an individual should be able to rise or fall on his or her own merits, and ultimately the government is just going to hold you back. Your sense is that I don't believe that the government should get in my wallet. If I earn a lot of money, then I should be able to keep the vast bulk of this money. If I can, when you think about it, I don't want special assistance to be able to buy homes. I want to be able to open a business and run it my way with a minimal amount of regulation. And sometimes these regulations could be things like no minimum wage or no maximum hours. The sense would be is that the individual should be free to rise or fall on his or her own merits, at least in terms of economic issues. A minimum wage would hold people back. Maximum hours, limiting the amount of hours that people could work, even children, would hold them back. Now, on the same token, if you fall down here, the sense is that you believe that the government should stay out of moral issues. So when you think about it, weed should be legal, and libertarians actually have this in their presidential platform, that weed should be legal. Gay marriage should be fine. The argument is that this is an individual choice and the government should stay out of it. When you think about a number of these things, prayer, this is something that the government should not be involved in. This should be decided by individuals, not a government that allows it or a government that bans it, but individual majorities at their own levels that decide this. Again, the government that governs less is the government that governs least. Or governs best is the one that governs least. Now, when you look at this, Vlad and Makiko, on these questions, on 4 of the 7 questions, you believe that the government should stay out of wallet issues. On 4 of the 7, you believe that the government should stay out of bedroom or moral issues. So to be honest with you, Vlad and Makiko, if you would have answered one question different, you would have believed in a slight regulation of morals. You're both basically moderates when it comes to moral issues. Having said this, Vlad, for 5 of those 7 questions, you believe that the government should stay out of your wallet, stay out of your economic business, not tax you as much, let you keep what you earn. You can spend your money for yourself better than the government can spend it for you. Vlad, you are actually a really solid economic libertarian. So again, a slight libertarian for moral issues, a stronger one for economic issues. Makiko, you were 4 out of 7 and 4 out of 7. So basically, you are a slight libertarian on wallet issues and a slight libertarian on bedroom issues. Really, you're very moderate, and it probably depends on the issue that's at hand. So if you would change one answer, you could have ended up in any of these 4 categories. So you're a leaning libertarian, but you're really a moderate, again, depending upon the issues. Alex, oh my God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alex, on 4 of the 7 questions, you said that the government should stay out of your wallet. So you're fairly moderate in that regard, just like Makiko. Having said this, on 6 of the 7 questions, you wanted the government out of your bedroom. You wanted the ability to do what you wanted to do as an individual. You are a strong libertarian on moral or bedroom issues. Allow the people to decide what they do and what they don't do, and the government should stay out. You notice up here, this is actually a fairly small category. Now, if you move over to this other bottom quadrant, we've got some folks that are going to believe that the government should regulate the wallet or economic issues, and they should still stay out of the bedroom or the moral issues. You folks, if you believe in regulating the economics, but staying out of the morals, you folks are going to be known as my liberals. In an American context, you could probably go so far as to say my Democrats. So when you look at this, and we've got a pretty good batch of you up here, liberals on this, you believe that the government should regulate wallet issues, give people help when they buy their first home. The people that make the most should pay the most. Maybe the government can spend its money for you better than you can spend your money for yourself. These are kinds of tenets or creeds there. Having said this, the exact same things that we're talking about before as far as the morals are concerned. The government is going to allow independence there, let people make their own choices. So when you look at this, Mallory, Destiny, and Joyce, you all fell on the exact same spot. You fell on 4 of the 7 that you believe the government should regulate economic issues, and 4 of the 7 that the government should stay out of the wallet. You folks are very slight liberals. And like Makiko before, it really depends upon the issue. So if y'all would have changed any one answer, you could have ended in any of these 4 categories, but you're slightly leaning liberal, again, probably depending upon the issue. We can go a little bit further though. And if you look at Johnny and Matt over here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. On 5 of the 7, Johnny, and 5 of the 7, Matt, you both said that the government should regulate economic issues, should Robin Hood, if you will, take from the rich, give to the poor, make sure that everybody's got something, but not that everybody or too few people have too much. This is kind of the mantra there. By the same token, on 5 of the 7, you said that the government should stay out of moral issues. So you did believe in some freedom, a good chunk of it in fact, but there were certain issues that even still you believe that the government should regulate in terms of morals. Johnny and Matt, you are actually very strong, very good, solid, strong liberals or Democrats according to the poll. Now when you look at this, you've got Sana and Manuel down here. Sana, you're the Alex of the liberals. On 6 of the 7 questions, you believe that the government should stay out of bedroom or moral issues. On 4 of the 7, you believe that the government should regulate economic issues. So basically, you're an economic moderate. You are strongly liberal in terms of moral issues. So basically, you are a little bit divided on this, but you're still liberal as far as the poll's concerned. And then Gisela, you might be the best of both worlds as far as liberals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. on 6 of the 7 questions you believe the government should regulate the wallet. Having said this, on 5 of the 7 you believe that the government should stay out of the morals. You are probably the best liberal, at least overall in both categories, as far as the class is concerned. Now, the opposite of a liberal is going to be what's known as a conservative. And as you might would expect, our conservatives are going to be catty corner. And again, an American term for this would probably be Republicans. Now, when you look at this, my conservatives are going to be the exact opposite. Now, note on this. Libertarians are going to share, if they share a side, they're going to share one belief with the quadrant that they share it with. So libertarians and liberals are going to believe that the government needs to stay out of moral issues. If you look at it, conservatives and libertarians are going to share a side. They're going to believe that the government should stay out of wallet issues. Now, if you notice down here, the liberals and the conservatives are exactly catty corner. They do not believe in anything that's the same. So they don't share any same quadrant. They're the exact opposite. So if liberals believe in regulating the wallet and staying out of the bedroom, then the conservatives are going to believe in regulating the bedroom and the morals and staying out of the wallet or the economic issues. Ian, Becca, and Tanakchi, you 3 actually scored as conservatives on this quiz. So with conservatives, again, I can spend my money better than the government can spend it for me. If I make a lot of money, don't punish me with higher taxes. Give me the freedom to be able to earn, to be able to create businesses and limit the regulations. Having said this, abortion, no. School prayer, yes. Legalized weed, no. And these are just some of the examples that I've given you. Or the idea of the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance, again, in only English. These would all be good examples of the government regulating moral issues, the government being involved in the bedroom. Tanakchi, on 4 of 7 and 4 of 7, you basically said that the government should regulate moral issues and the government should stay out of the wallet. So Tanakchi, you are basically a slight conservative as far as the poll's concerned. Becca, 1, 2, 3. On 5 of the 7, you believe that the government should regulate moral issues. And on 4 of the 7, you believe that the government should stay out of the wallet. So you're more conservative regarding morals than you are on economics, whereas you're only slightly. Now, having said this, Ian, you up at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You, on 6 of the 7 questions, said the government should stay out of your wallet. On 6 of the 7 questions, you said the government should regulate moral issues. You are undeniably the strongest conservative in the class. And what you'll notice up here is that if this is at the center, the further away you get from the center, the stronger, and some might even say more extreme, your beliefs are. The closer that you are in the center, the more moderate or middle of the road you are. And if you notice up here, Laura, who didn't answer all the questions, actually answered the same number for regulation and the same number for non-regulation for both bedroom and wallet. So she actually finished at the quadrant 0, 0, dead in the center, which obviously means at any, depending upon the issue, she could end up in any of these quadrants. One last one, and I'll leave you with this one. Some folks are going to believe that you regulate the bedroom, and some folks are going to believe that you regulate the wallet. These folks are going to be what are known as my populists. And a populist, very simply, is this. A populist is basically going to say that the government can make better decisions for the people than the people can make for themselves. We need to guide them, we need to regulate them so that indeed they know right from wrong, so that they know what not to waste on, that kind of a thing. So when we were talking about wallet issues like health care, a populist is going to say, let's give them health care. A populist is going to say, let's require them to pray. A populist is going to say, government should regulate abortion. And these types of ideas. So understand on this. The government is going to help people to help themselves because there's a cynicism that maybe they can't help themselves without this kind of help. Now, if you notice on here, Tim, On 4 of the 7, you believe that the government should regulate the bedroom. And on 4 of the 7, you believe that the government should regulate the wallet. So Tim, you are a leaning populist, but just like everybody else in this basic square up here, depending upon the issue, you could fall in any of the categories. So you've got some moderation to you. If you notice, Mario and Marvina, 1, 2, 3, Marvina and Mario, on 5 of the 7, you believe that the government should regulate the wallet, meaning the government can spend the money of the people better than the people can spend it for themselves. On 4 of the 3, you believed in regulating, 4 to 3, you believed in regulating morals. So again, the government should regulate these moral type issues, but you slightly would do this. So again, it would depend on the issue itself. Muhammad, though, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. On 5 of the 7, you believed in regulating morals, and on 5 of the 7, you believed in regulating the wallet. Now, here's the trick on this, and Muhammad, you're the strongest populist of them all. The difficulty with populism is the more that you try and regulate the people, the more that you think that you need to regulate them more and more to bring them to the level that you want them to be. And the danger is that if you're Muhammad and you get some success, you want to regulate more and more, and ultimately populists are very much in danger of becoming what are known as dictators. So if you get a question on the exam, who is most likely to be the class dictator? There's no doubt that this is going to be Muhammad. One last point that I'll raise to you, and that is, you notice that the vast bulk of people down here are liberals. That is not to say that you're going to be a liberal for your entire life, but there's actually a little bit of science to this. And let me go ahead and hit this for you real quick as well. If you were to draw what your beliefs are basically in a U shape. If this is you in youth, and this is you at an older age, the idea is that you're going to be more liberal at youth than you will be at just about any other point in your life. Now, the idea here, when you think about it, is we, as younger people, need more from the government because we just haven't been around that long. Maybe we need help buying a house. Maybe we need help getting a job. Maybe we need help paying for school. We need more help from the government because we don't have that much. And indeed, when you don't have that much, it's easier to be liberal because you've got less to lose. When you think about it, though, when you start getting into your 30s and your 40s, middle age, 50s, you become more conservative than you will be at any other point. And think about it. In your 30s and 40s, you've been married once or twice. You've had several kids. You've got a home, a mortgage. You've got maybe a couple of cars. You've got the good job that you went to college for. You become more conservative because conservatives tend to believe in preserving what they have, and for the first time in your life, you've got things to preserve. You're going to be more liberal when you're younger, which explains this. You're going to be more conservative at middle age, but that's not to say that you're going to be liberal at your young age or conservative in middle age. It's going to be you're more liberal younger and more conservative as you get older. And then when you get to the really older ages, 70s, 60s, 80s, you become more liberal again. And think about it. You're not working anymore. You don't have a mortgage to pay. Your kids are grown. In the grand scheme of things, when you really sit down and you think about it, young people want drugs. Old people want prescription drugs. In the grand scheme of things, you become much more liberal because you've got much less at stake. So bear in mind, this is kind of the curve. You're going to be more conservative than any other point in your life at middle age, but you're going to be more liberal at the extremes when you're younger and when you're older.